specials. Free pool during the day from 11 to 3. Eat some of those lunch specials. Get yourself some free pool. And come down here and have some fun. Bud's Harley Davidson. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Bud's Harley Davidson. Custom Recreation. For a good time, call 477-3052. Seen that before on the side of a bathroom wall, but that was not the right number for it. So this is the 812 area code, folks. This is in Evansville. Bob's Lounge, where the players go and the liquor flows. Come get yourself a Stromboli. Pull up a chair. Play some free pool. I don't know, you wouldn't want to play free pool from a chair. That doesn't make any sense. Cryptocurrency tax expert. Maximum refund guarantee. Year-round support. You know what we're talking about? Premium Tax Solutions. Eric Canary, your tax expert in the Evansville pool world. And we've done the loop.
Harley Davidson. Expect the unexpected.
All right. We are in between matches here. While we're in between matches, I think your on-screen or on-air talent is going to go ahead and check out the newly remodeled bathrooms at O'Brien Sports Bar. O'Brien Sports Bar. They have a place to go pee.
Shultz and Jason McPhearson, table 7.
Shultz versus Jason McPhearson. Oddly enough, we have a lot of people dropping off the live stream, so we need you guys to share this. Let everybody know this is not some just regular tournament. This is an incredible matchup of two incredible players battling it out to get to the hot seat match. This match goes against Chris Austin or Mike France, I believe. Katie Miller says this should be when is the finals of the series? Well, when we get to the show. This is the final four matches, semifinals. You winners are left. Yeah, this is a situation where they're going to have some more cameras. They're going to double as a $1,500 bench. Scott Shultz, partnership is not $1,500. Lots of interesting stuff going on here at the State Baseball Championships.
Hey, Will. What you guys decide on? What you guys decide on playing? Single, or you guys double? 5 ahead, 1,500.
5 ahead for $1,500 going on here at Scott Shultz match.
Singles.
Singles. I don't know what's going on.
Was it Will, you and Vargas? Or you and Kyle? Or?
Semifinals for the winners. Dean Austin says hello. Welcome, Joe Keeks.
Brad Hutchins,
Broadcast.
table
Greg
2.
Roberts, Terry Kirk, Chris Thomas, Jason Flicken. All of you guys, make sure that you put this on your news feed. Share it out there. I don't want it to be left out on that, so I will go ahead and share it myself. All right. What's going on on the loser side? He stuns it over, comes into the balls, hits it so well. Hits it flat in the face. He's got to hit the 6 balls. Okay, folks. You were missing all of this. Great commentary by me getting my bourbon. Maybe because I was not being heard clearly. You guys have not been sharing appropriately, so why don't you guys get on board? Make sure that every human being who has ever lived, make sure Abraham Lincoln gets a chance to watch this live stream. This is a great match from the state he was born in. Kentucky versus Kentucky. Owensboro versus Owensboro. Every share you make is a step towards greatness. Every sip I take is a step towards drunkenness here at O'Brien's. Oh my, that is good and warm and keeps my toes from getting colds. 8 ball off the rail into the side is going to put Jason up 2-1 if he makes the shot. And make it he does. I believe that's going to put him racking and breaking into the fourth game. It is a pleasure to watch these players apply their craft. And it was a pleasure to watch the waitress apply her craft by bringing me this bourbon. Anybody else want to get me one? Come on down. Hell, call them. Hell, use PayPal. I don't know, send money somewhere and someone bring me bourbon. Just, work out the logistics yourself. Oh, there is an official Uber driver of the On-Cue Broadcast Network. His name is Chris Thomas. And I think if we said, bring me some more bourbon, well, they couldn't really bring outdoor bourbon in here without violating Indiana state liquor laws. Jason McPhearson. Here's the break. And the break is dry. Christopher Thomas is at the mall. Well, why don't you call in and send me some money so I can get some more bourbon? Maybe Brandon's going to come buy me some bourbon. B. Brandon. I'll tell you what, we spent the night singing the karaoke, didn't we, on Thursday? Woo! My God, let's woo-ah! Wow! Good morning, Fun Train Thursdays. Terry Winchester's asking how is Steve doing. I think he finished up there in Huntingburg and is in the process of trying to drink them out of alcohol. Terry Winchester asks, Bob, you sing karaoke? I don't know if you would call it singing. What I do is I make love to the audience. By making love to the audience, I mean make up for my lack of talent with bravado, gusto, and guile. Terry Rowe likes the On-Cue Billiards video. What I would like him to do is to share it, to make sure his pantheon of followers come down from upon high and view some of the best action the tri-state area has to offer. Jody Bevan says the two best players in Owensboro going at it. I will say that, there's certainly a list of Owensboro players that could be in the mix for that title. But these two are right there for sure. going to be a frustrating miss there. Not that it was an easy shot. Tim Early says money. Money. I don't know if that means. I guess it's a request for what the winner will win from this tournament, or are they in the money? It's hard for me to come up with a actual response to that, but I believe it's over 3,000 with the Calcutta. What? No, I ain't got nothing. Jake Worth's trying to take all my money from me one dime at a time. Down to my last dime. I'm so far down to my last dime, I ain't got a dime. What's the score between Nate and Brad? Well, I mean, if you were here, you would know, Tanya, because I'm over here in the cold, in the corner, and have no access to anything other than the live stream to keep myself plugged in with the goings on at the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful O'Brien's Sports Bar and Grill. All right, these two are experts at pattern play. Expert ball makers. Looking at the combination shot or the carom, I think both are going to be close to going. So, unfortunately, he's not able to call both, and whichever one goes. This opens up an opportunity for Jason McPhearson to get back in the mix in this rack. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Nicholas, I don't have an ability to turn this up at this point, and it's basically me talking quietly because we have a situation where the bar is actually quieted down quite a bit as people have gotten knocked out and left, and we want to make sure that we don't have a situation where my commentary gets into the heads of the players involved. So I'm trying to keep it down to a very dull roar. I'm kind of like a golf commentator right now, which anybody who knows me knows this is not my typical volume level. Well, Boyer, we've got a very interesting set of connections here to make this program go. And the microphones that we're using are, well, ones that don't have easy, obvious answers. But we're still trying to get theirs for you. Let's see how we can do here. He's got I guess he's thinking he can get to the 4-ball there. And I guess he can.
Table 3, Terry Patterson. And Tommy Stevenson.
Let's see if this gets louder for you folks. Making little adjustments here. He makes the 4-ball, gets up underneath the 3. He's taking that in the side, which I wouldn't have expected, but that was to get the good leave there on the 8-ball. And that's going to leave Ray in a really good opportunity to get out. Well, you want volume. You've got volume, folks. I guess we learn something new every day. Oh, but he ends up missing that ball into the top right corner pocket. Terry Winchester asks, when is the next Fives and Under tournament? Well, we did know that Ryan Kelly and Ronnie Brown and those guys, Dan Field and Tyler Cordova, were doing some planning for running another 5 and Under tournament. But I hadn't heard much from it. I would like to see more 5s and Under tournaments as well. I would like to see more 5s and Under tournaments as well. Okay, this should be a fairly routine out for Ray. All right, here we go. Tim Early, when is the next big 8-ball tournament? So we have a list of tournaments that are actually on tap. Oh, this is actually going to be a little funny for Ray. And while I say we have that list, I should say that O'Brien's and OnQ, which is Mickey and Pat, have that list. He left himself a little tough on the 8, but I tell you what, it doesn't matter. He goes ahead and makes the cut into the corner pocket. Nice job by Ray Shultz. Tanya Crawford says, me too, 5 and Under, that is. Well, I will say this, Tanya. I welcome it. Put me in that mix. I love to play me a little pool. I don't know if enough people want to get together and work together on making great events happen. I think that OnQ would be willing to help. If they didn't have the manpower to run the tournament themselves, they might do some help on the other side of it. So Chad Sanders is coming through and asking, where is this playing at? The answer, this is the O'Brien Sports Bar and Grill, home of the OnQ Tri-State 8-Ball Championship of 2018. 2-2 matchup versus 2 of Owensboro legends, Jason McPhearson and Razor Ray Shultz. Jaybird and Razor, it's going to be something spectacular. 2-2. It's a race to 3 from here, alternating break. And here it is. Tanya wants a rematch. She went from the Aussie boss to the Aussie loss because she ran into me in the second round of the last 5s and Under tournament. But I got my revenge for the disaster she put upon me up at Chappie's. So I suppose we're at a tie there, aren't we, Tanya? So we should go ahead and battle it out at some place to find out who is the true champion of our little Aussie Hoosier rivalry, the international rivalry. Welcome back, Jessica. Jody Bevan says, how does a 5 and under work? Well, that's a good question. It really depends on who's running the tournament, but typically it's based on APA rankings or skill ratings because the Evansville pool areas had those established for a long time. And it basically is a tournament that allows for lower rated players to play. We've had one that was a race to 4, just flat race to 4 for everyone. We had one that was handicapped at different levels for the different skill levels involved. So really, it's like I said, it just kind of depends on the person running the tournament. And yes, it could be handicapped, or it could be the only handicap being is you're capping off the 6s and 7s using APA handicaps. Basically, what we are all trying to do as 5s and under is to duck Jake Worth. I mean, that is laughable. I hate to say it. He's sitting next to me. He's right next to me, so it's kind of a little deal there. So the actual location is Owensboro, Kentucky. No. The players are from Owensboro, Kentucky. This is the Tri-State Championship of 8-ball. And the location is Evansville, Indiana. So the Tri-State, in this case, is Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. So more like southern Illinois, southwestern Indiana, and western Kentucky. This is a very rich in pool history location. A lot of amazing players, from Nick Varner to Sky Woodward. Big tournaments from the Johnson City tournaments back in the 60s and early 70s to the ooh, look at that carom shot. That's a nice shot. To the Derby City Classic now. Chad Sanders, you're from north of Fort Wayne. Our APA team met a team out of there from Coldwater, Michigan, and they beat us to went on to go to the national championship in 2014, I believe. 2015, I believe. Shane Knight, I'd like to welcome him. We were talking about him earlier. He's got one of the best collections of custom cues available for sale over at the Knight & Company across the street over here from where we're located. But we're in Evansville, Indiana. It is the epicenter of the pool universe. Jason McPhearson is struggling. Jody Bevan says, I like the race to 4 for 5s and under. I'd be interested in playing in one and sponsoring one as well. Well, I tell you what, if you sponsor one, man, you could make it happen for enough money. You could always throw me a like on Facebook. My name is Robert L. Darling III on Facebook, and I can get you to the right people to talk about such a thing. Nicholas Roberts is saying, right on, Lake Cumberland, Kentucky here, so not too awful far. Yeah, there's a lot of good things happening here in the tri-state area, so you do well to come check us out sometime. But while you're there, feel free to check out the live stream. Future BCA Hall of Fame announcer, Crazy Bob, coming to you live. Jody Bevan says, sounds good. Well, that's because the vocal stylings of Crazy Bob are music to most people's ears. They happen to be deaf people, but they like the sound of Crazy Bob. But yes, On-Cue Billiards does a lot of different events and does support other people doing events. Like I said, when the four guys were doing the 4 and under one here at O'Brien's on the east side of Evansville, Indiana, where we're playing right now, they did bring the live streaming equipment in and did that for an opportunity to get not just the top of the top players battling out, but also the also-rans like me. We got a little trouble. Hey, there's a guy's head popping up in the middle of the thing. Looks like a little game of whack-a-mole. All right, I'm going to ask you guys, have you guys shared this with every human being on Earth yet? You know, if you share it, another person shares it, another person shares it, keeps doing that for about 6 times, even Kevin Bacon is going to get an opportunity to watch this live stream. Yeah, seeing Shane Knight on here, we did have an opportunity to talk a little bit about collectible fishing lures and Indian artifacts, Native American artifacts. We'll try to stick with the PC version of things. I think he's going to take out his opponent's 6-ball. He's not only going to take out his opponent's 6-ball, he is going to also make his ball to continue this run. Bruce is claiming it only takes 6 people to get to Bacon. You know what? Bacon's a little shifty, you know. You could, he kind of ducks a couple of people every once in a while. It only takes that way with famous people. It takes 6.5 people to get to him through a on-cue broadcast. Jessica, can I see Nate's table? No, I cannot see Nate's table. I wish I could. I wish I was omnipotent, omniscient, and everywhere at once. But I only can stay in my little cubbyhole bringing to you commentary for this matchup right here. Now, I'm not sure what Ray's thinking over here with this tied up ball here at the bottom. I think he's probably going to go ahead and make his opponent's ball again and then hide him behind the 9-ball. Jessica Dunlap says, send someone to get the score. Well, Jessica, I wish I had that kind of pull. I do not have control over another sovereign human being. Another sovereign human being has every right to say, no matter what I do, I will not go over to Nate's table to find out the score. All right, he's left him frozen on the rail. He's left him in a situation where he's going to fly, baby, fly. I agree with Steve Boyer's assessment. It just kind of looked like that's what he was looking at, so I kind of went with it. This is a very terrible angle for this great shot here. And it works out pretty much as well as it could have worked for Ray Shultz. Do you know the score? Nate's.
I seen Nate go like this, so I wanted to give him a thumbs up. So
Evidently, Nate's winning, but that's only by judged by smoke signals and hand signals from a distance. Yeah, we're on the far end of the room from him, so it's really hard for us to figure it out from here. And Jessica, be the boss, Crazy Bob. Man, Crazy Bob can't be the boss. There's something wrong with Crazy Bob. That's why he can't be the boss. He's crazy. No matter what I do, every time I look up at the comments field, I see that Corey Grant has joined. Thank you, Corey Grant, for joining. Corey Grant's come over and joined us playing some pool over at Bob's Lounge many, many times. Rich Hauser says, that's funny, Bob. Well, at the moment, I'm not sure what you're referring to, because as it turns out, I'm at about 20 hours of broadcasting for you guys, and that 20 hours means that I'm just about to lose all the gray matter in the top of my head. Mike Bratcher says, are they in the winner's bracket? These two guys are, yes, and also Chris Austin and Mike France. So that's your answer, Mike Bratcher. Tanya's a little too worried about Nate's game and not worried about the matchup that we're going to have against each other, so I can once and for all take the Aussie boss down. All right. Ray gets out there, and I agree with Boyer on that assessment there that it was kind of a risky move, but jump off the rail, the length of the table, that risky is the kind of risky that most people would take. If the ball was a little closer to the pocket, then maybe not, but like you said, I think he might do well to actually prevent him. He had all kinds of balls around that cluster. All right, Tanya says she's buffering real bad. Well, I mean, that's a personal problem, Tanya. I don't know if you should discuss that all live on the internet. Whatever buffering is. That's probably your internal connection, actually, because we've got really good. Boyer just said he's a 50-50 shot for a shot. He says, I'll take 3-1 odds. Well, if you're a 50-50 shot, the 3-1 will work for you, won't it? All right, what we're seeing here is a display. I'm getting fine. I'm getting fine speeds. Yeah, they need to refresh the Facebook on their end. What we're seeing here is what we're seeing here was an ability to throw more balls in, put some more weight on the thing, make sure all the balls get through the system of the internals of the diamond pool table. The greatest pool tables in the world and the greatest pool announcers in the world come from Jeffersonville, Indiana. It's a beautiful town. No. 4-2 Nate. There's the official score. And he just broke dry. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about matches that are at least 18 miles away and only being communicated with via smoke signals. We've got a real serious display of technology going on. It's a really impressive display because we have a guy sitting next to me sending a message into outer space to go across the bar to get to his wife so she can walk over to get a score for that match walk it back over to sit back to space to come back over to the guy sitting next to me. And the final result is a telephone game that says 4-2. Nate. Welcome, Mickey Hammond, to the broadcast. It is funny how many towers and satellites and wow, I can't believe that cue ball went through there without touching a ball. I mean, he needs breakouts from every which angle to get there. That was as unlucky of a roll as you could ever want or need in a breakout situation. If only Mark Hubbard would join and share this with all his friends, every single thing in the world would come together. Thank you, Mark Hubbard, for joining. So, yes, I was saying the greatest pool tables in the world and the greatest pool announcers in the world all come from one place, and that's Jeffersonville, Indiana. Jeffersonville, Indiana is very close to the greatest pool table pool tournament in the world, which is the Derby City Classic, which oddly enough is not in Derby City. Brian Hebler says, I bet he can't do that again. I will say this, if he does, it would be a remarkable thing. In fact, I believe something terrible would have happened because he wasn't even shooting to have a chance to do it again. Welcome, Tina Austin, to the live stream. I'd like to ask you to share this with all of your friends and neighbors. Share it with the dogs and the plants in your neighborhood to make sure that every plant and dog can watch the live stream. Larry Parsons says, hello. I will say hello back to you, Larry Parsons. Where are you watching from? Herm was here earlier and scared the ever-loving crap out of us by poking his head over the TV screens and looking down upon us when we thought he was off in some other area of the planet. Welcome back to the live stream. Jessica says she got all but 5 signatures. Well, I tell you what. I sure wish I could have gone and gotten some with you. All right. For people who know my game, which is kind of a stretch to call it my game, but they know that I like clusters like this. I like to, in fact, that's one of my favorite parts of the game of 8-ball is this little tight quarter movement and defensive shot making and thinking. There's a good example of freezing that ball next to the green stripy ball. And most of the matches that we've seen with Jason today has been a lot of run-out stuff. So we're going to see a little bit, probably more, what the breadth of strategic 8-ball we're going to have. And that's a really nice shot there. Gets back on the rail. Kind of a one-pocket looking shot. Got to ask you guys if you've shared it, and tell you if you have not shared it, then you're not doing your due diligence. You are not contributing to the runaway freight train that is the OnCue Broadcast Network's live stream of the Tri-State 8-Ball Championship 2018. We keep getting told by Steve Boyer that we should show the trophy. I tell you what, I agree with that, but decisions that were made that were above my pay grade limit me from communicating that to the appropriate powers that be, who have cameras and the trophy in front of them. Maybe Jake Worth can send smoke signals up the food chain, up into outer space, and then watch them descend upon what? I've been told I need to duck. How is it? Am I looking at a man who's got 2 cigarettes in his ears? Is that what those are? Oh, come on, make it believable. Are they playing one pocket? Oh. 5 ahead for $1,500. One pocket is what we're missing over here. Oh, to have a smartphone. Well, just goes to show when you put a bunch of great players in a room together and you leave a couple tables open, especially 9-footers, good stuff happens. People are gambling it up, having some fun, while the tournament keeps on trucking. I was always a devoted reader of the Ask a Pro section of the APA's website that Razor Ray wrote. And it's just an honor to be broadcasting a match for him. I know I make a lot of jokes about a lot of stuff, but it's one of those things that when I started playing pool, when I walked into Bob's Lounge 6 years ago or whatever, 6.5 years ago, little did I know that I'd be announcing a match where Ray Shultz was playing. So and the contributions made by everybody in the OnCue family and people that are out there who support what we've done, it really makes my heart happy, because I think great things have come, like tournaments like this, from the work that we've done. Alan Jacobs Jr. says, I shared on my page, which is probably why Johnny O is watching. Plus, I personally invited approximately 20 pool enthusiasts. Well, I will say I did ask you to also share it with your dogs and your plants. Little did everybody know, if you play the OnCue broadcasts for your plants, they grow more, they seed more, they also bear more fruit. It's what a plant needs, the OnCue Broadcast Network. Yeah, well, Steve Boyer, he was sitting there at the bar. Oh, we played poker. Oh, well, hey, these are good times. But, yeah, actually, it is an honor. It's an honor for me to actually get an opportunity to play a match with Louis DeMarco. I gave him fits, made him do a whole lot of sweating over the match with little old me. But probably played one of my better matches ever and still got beat to 5-0. So it's not always about whether you win or lose, but just having an opportunity to play with guys like that is sometimes enough to make a special event. I remember going to the first arthritis tournament that I played in, and that's where I met a lot of these players. First time I met Mickey, first time I met TJ, first time I met Chris Austin, first time I met any number of players. I mean, it's just a so I mean, everybody that everybody and everything that's come since then. I mean, who knew that all that time ago that the OnCue Broadcast Network would be bearing greater fruit for all plants? Woo. So A. Allen Jacobs Jr. is saying he doesn't have a dog or plants. So, well, I would just tell him to take his laptop or phone and set it in the grass. It'll make your lawn better. It'll get rid of the crabgrass and the dandelions. So, if you've got a problem with crabgrass or dandelions or the sweet gumballs of the gumball tree, just all you got to do is put your wireless device next to it and put the OnCue live stream on. It'll all be taken care of in due time. It's like Roundup of pool. All right, we've got, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but there's no hope of me not mispronouncing it. Hugh Wynn. We've got ourselves a little bit of a defensive battle going on here. Yeah, boy, you're saying, I had to interrupt you. Yeah, we were playing cards when I asked you to show me a little something, and you worked on my stance there. But you were at the end of the bar when I asked you about the tournament that we played in. The tournament we played in was one of those big moments for me. I didn't know there were a lot of different doubles tournaments and charity tournaments and that kind of thing. We knew this was going to be a big one. And I asked Boyer to play with me, and that was kind of the start of OnCue Billiards, really. And we ended up coming second in the tournament, but because I played so terrible, he said I'd have to go to his house, drink bourbon, and learn to play pool before he'd be willing to play with me. As it turns out, it worked out pretty well. Ended up going to Custom Recreation, sponsor of the Tri-State 8-Ball Championship this year, and got myself a Nick Varner jump break. I swear it wasn't a week before the local APA took a vote and changed it to not allowing jump cues. So having the jump cue was kind of less important for me after that. But yeah, I had that Nick Varner jump break for a long time. And after that, we were buying our tips from Nick Varner and met Nick Varner numerous times. And now we go to the big tournaments. He'll show up and come say, hey. It's just kind of a wild ride. Met Mike Massey at a, I don't know what you call it, exhibition here at O'Brien's. And hell, it wasn't a year and a half, 2 years later. He's sitting there next to me in the championship arena at the APA Nationals talking about our match. Will gets the first game in the one pocket. So Jason McPhearson's in a spot here where his two balls are actually separated by the length of the table. Doesn't have a lot of good options for the breakout. I'm guessing he's going to want to get this ball back in the game. But the problem is Ray Shultz has a lot of soldiers left on the field. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. What kind of angle he's got on this one ball. We're going to try to look through his head and see. He got him a little closer, Boyer, but it was only about a couple of inches closer. Looks like he might be going for the back cut. If he goes to the back cut, this might be in a chance to go for the win. What he does is he gets the ball to drop. So now we're probably looking at him coming down table off of the 3. Looks like I just went to ash in a ashtray that just got taken away from me. You just get no respect as the on-air talent from the On-Cue Billiards Network. Yeah, I was thinking that he would send that 11 ball back down table and keep him down there. But he did have enough breakout balls on the other side that I think Ray had a good opportunity. So hard to say. He felt pretty confident that he wasn't. Ooh, this is going to be a real good shot to leave perfect on this 5. That's going to get Ray another game, I would believe. All right, this is the On-Cue Broadcast Network. Ray Shultz gets to the hill first. 4-2, brought to you by Bob's Lounge, Premier Tax Solutions. Eric Canary is a supporter of On-Cue Billiards and wants to let you know that he can get your taxes done for you. He's an IRS registered tax preparer who's had a lot of years of experience and schooling to make sure that he gets it done right. O'Brien Sports Bar and Grill. Come to O'Brien Sports Bar and Grill. If you come right now, you can come drink with me because I got a glass of bourbon in my hand. O'Brien Sports Bar and Grill. Broom, 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 broom. Bud's Harley Davidson. An On-Cue pool lesson favorite is to not Harley Davidson grip your back of your cue too hard. And they have foreshadowed the sponsorship of this event, we'll say. For a good time, call Custom Recreation. You too can get a Nick Varner jump break like I did after coming in second place at a big doubles tournament. We've done the loop. We've got Ray Shultz doing his thing on the rack, and he's in a situation where he's going to be having the break on the hill to get to the first person to be awaiting the winner of Mike France and Chris Austin for the hot seat match of the winner's bracket. Oh, Rick Rankin, you just showed up in time to share this with everybody. Get on that share button. Make it happen. Every ball on the table gets spread far and wide, but none of them find their way to the hole. Every ball on the table gets spread far and wide, but none of them find their way to the hole. All right. Solids it is for Jason McPhearson. Jason McPhearson is looking at a pretty good layout for his balls. I think that everything being wide open like this is going to enable him to get this rack. A little premature, but let's put it this way. He didn't have that kind of luxury last rack. saving the 4 ball as a key ball to get back on the 8 ball probably. Ricky Alton says good match. Ricky Alton's out there making sure everybody get healthy by doing some personal fitness training. Great guy. Played a lot of pool over a short span, but haven't seen him out much lately. Very good player. Used to come into O'Brien's quite a bit. I'd like to welcome you to the match. Why don't you share this? Make sure everybody else gets to see it. All right, I think this shot's going to be the story of the game. Does he get to where he wants to be? And I believe he does. I think this angle that he's left himself is going to be pretty much ideal to get on the 8 ball from the 4. I don't think he could ask for much more. That's going to pretty much get him there to the 3rd win. Going to get himself the break. As everybody who's played him knows, he's a danger to get out anytime he gets to the table, like he just did. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate the share. Sharing is caring. Any news on any other games? I do not have any news for any other games, other than I think Will Freeman is up on his little side action here. I say little, but to little is $1,500. I believe Brad Hutchins won 5-4 against Nate to beat Thomas Stevenson out of Ohio in the losers bracket. So I know that's bad news if you've not heard it. And I just got that from checking the bracket. So if you guys want to see where everybody's at, it's a good place to go. And Jason gets a hold of that one. If he's got this 2 ball in the side pocket, then I believe he's going to be running again. He's got his running shoes on. I can see him from here. I've got 1 slipper off and 1 slipper on. Don't know why. I think I'm starting to get slap happy from exhaustion. So, yeah, the losers bracket's moving right along. I'm guessing Brad Hutchins is playing Thomas Stevenson now. Bobby Hardwick says running shoes funny. You know, even a crazy Bob like me says something entertaining every once in a while. Nate was just put out on the hill against Hutchins. That's what Patrick Akert says. Welcome, Ryan Kelly. There's a lot of people out here asking, when is the next 5s and under tournament going to be played? Well, that's a good question. Ryan Kelly might kind of have some sort of answer with that. But before you answer that, do your due diligence and share this with the world. Make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to see what great pool comes out of the tri-state area. So everybody who had questions about sound and all that kind of stuff in the past, how does it sound right now? Jason's lining up this combo right now. And he doesn't get the result he's after. Well, as Boyer knows, he wants to do a 500 on April 24th. But April 24th is so far away, who could possibly plan that far in advance? The answer, Steve Boyer. All right. I'm not sure. I want to see the other angle here to see what this 10 ball could do. To be able to get a good grasp on what kind of pattern he's going to go. He does have the 6 ball in the top right-hand corner of your screen. That will make the ability to make that up there a little bit easier. So we'll see if that indeed is what he goes for. I'd like to welcome Mike Felton. Mike Felton should drop by here anytime. Steve Hossman, welcome to the program. A. Alan Jacobs Jr., who has no dogs or plants, gave us a thumbs up. Oh, Ray has left himself a really tough shot here. Oh, yeah? Yep. Daniel Jones is asking, where is this taking place? Well, it is taking place at O'Brien Sports Bar and Grill. That is located in the east side of Evansville, Indiana, the center of gravity for everything pool on earth. That is a great shot there by Ray. And that it might be the shot that does it. Welcome, Terry Rowe, out of Santa Claus, Indiana. All right, he's just going to have to draw back up underneath this 8 ball, probably. Skeeter Longfoot says precisely the same thing. Where is this taking place? It is taking place at O'Brien Sports Bar in Evansville, Indiana. The center of the pool universe. Ray Shultz gets the win. Nice shooting by Ray Shultz. He might not want to even mute that one. Nice job, Ray. Ray got his game back. Great job, bro, says Mike Knopfsinger. If you would like to come to the On Cue Billiards YouTube channel, Ray, in the future, you would be able to see this match cut up into an individual match. All right, congratulations to getting to the hot seat match. Let's see who your opponent is. Wow. Yeah, that combo was sweet, wasn't it, Seth? You know what? That combo was so sweet. We're going to see if Crazy Bob could get some technical prowess together, act like a Oh, it's your jacket. Hey, Nate. Let me see if I can get this together so I can see it over again. Well, that's not the way to do it. Everything went black. Butts Harley-Davidson. This is their first tournament sponsored by Bud's Harley-Davidson. Let them know that you've checked out what we're doing here. And who knows? Maybe we'll get some more sponsorships going forward. I'm not sure who we got coming up here, but I'll try to get you this replay of this combination shot. In here we go. This is Razor Ray Shultz with the combination shot that got him the win. This is a game-winning shot, folks. Pool on earth. That is a great shot there by Ray. And that gated in. Doesn't get much better than that. I'll even watch it again. Center of gravity for everything pool on earth. That is a great shot there by Ray. All right, Ray Shultz gets the win, 5-3. Let's find out who's on the next TV table match. Bob Grant says, me and my 2 dogs are watching. Every time someone misses, they look at me and do the head tilt thing. Well, just think of what your plants will do if you share it with them. Chuck Stevens, haven't seen him in a while. How you doing out there, Chuck Stevens? This is Crazy Bob, coming to you live from O'Brien's Sports Bar and Grill in Evansville, Indiana. My guess is the next match is going to be Mike France versus Chris Austin. Illinois' Chris Austin versus